and then you'll have an opportunity to sort of mingle a bit with everybody, and then we have a kind of programme set out of these people that are involved with the project that will come and talk to you, as well as you'll be able to look around the building and so on and ask questions, etc. So I'll hand you over to Berkeley, who's going to introduce the project and tell you a little bit about it.
Okay, good afternoon. What we're going to do in terms of some of our young people, in terms of their testimony, what they have to say, I think what we're going to do is, after introductions like that, let them do the stuff. Because some will have to go early, they have to go someplace or whatever. We've also got Shelia Peacock. She was our mayor for the last 2 years. Very principal in terms of working in our borough, very supportive to the organisations and the community projects in our borough. So she'll be saying welcome to the club. And also in terms of Sally, who I work with, Sally Sturgeon. John is also John. He's not here. He's in the printing room. He's getting t-shirts printed, for our group. So he'll be here. So in terms of who organise and run things, it's never that way anyway. It sounds like that. But Sally's our administrator, so people say something that she actually runs the show. And then again, some of our young people, our younger ones, who actually tell us what to do. Kind of notice sometimes, but that's the spirit. And what we're going to do, the next one in the afternoon, we'll probably get a presentation from some of our members. They might play some music for you, and we'll read a statement. Talk about younger intermediate groups and such. We have our senior folks in here. We also got a video that actually shows what we're about, because in terms of what I'm about, in terms of writing, people can talk the stuff, and sometimes when you have your evidence-based stuff and you have your, it's new time, so you have your stuff on video, I'm sure what you're doing, the promotion. So we have a kind of promotion video that shows in terms of what we're about, some of the activities. This is a people of a carnival band, and we always say that we're not just a carnival band, we're more than a carnival band, because we try to make a difference to our community, in terms of our presence. So that's why we have a number of activities that we're involved in terms of, we have youngsters that are under 13 in terms of preventative program after school club. We have senior young people in terms of leadership and achievements. We have people who can kind of support in all different, in terms of housing, even legal issues as such. Young people who are achieving, young people have difficulties. We also work, I should say, Sheila's our champion in terms of working with senior citizens. That's history. That's her battle. We have different champions. She champions, and that's what she champions. I must say she's been very supportive in terms of working with young people, in terms of liking to the bar and she has quite a bit to say. She must be, she has a bit of authority, social authority. When you go certain places. I used to work on a project at number 10, Bruce Grove project, and when Shelia came in, she'd come in and said, want to speak to the workers. And we had senior managers and senior speakers. And she says, no, I don't want to speak to you, I want to speak to the workers. And so I'd get a call saying, no, you have to go forward. She wanted to speak to the workers. So she had that kind of authority, it was a job, because they know she was committed to do the work. The fact that she was mayor for 2 years and all that sort of shows you that not a terrible few lawsuits that are going on again. That maybe there might be another time maybe in the future. But I think because she's one of our main champions, if not the, in terms of the project that we're about. But I said it's not more than a carnival band, and you have a logo that we're more than a carnival band, because we work with our community and make a difference as such. School club education. We have the people, we have the expertise, we have the skill, and we're fortunate that we have the clientele. So we're taking people through, and Sharon being with us, she's done X amount of work with our project. She's been a senior person in the borough before she left the borough. But we're fortunate she's still makes a contribution. This project is a volunteer community organization. It's not profitable, it's not as big as paid as such. We always think we have to pay for the light and the heating. I always tell people that, they think, no, we have to pay for the lights. So we need to, look for our funders and so forth, our supporters, and we think it's quite a bit of support. So I would deny that. Not a lot, but just enough to keep us through. We've been going for how many years, Sally?
33.
So to that extent, I'll just pass you to Sally.
Sally. We've been going for 33 years, as Berkeley has told you. We were a carnival costume band. We make costumes, we take part in the carnival and local events, so local community events, outdoor events. But having said that, we evolved from that because carnival is a seasonal thing, and what we found was the young people are still coming when it's not carnival season. So we have put together programs of activities to ensure that they're kept doing positive things throughout the year. Our biggest thing at the moment is an after-school club, which it's kind of funny really at the moment because it's supposed to be 3 days a week, but any time anybody sees Berkeley's car in the yard, they're in. Is it open? Which gives you a kind of idea of there's not a lot to do around here if you're not actively staying at school or whatever. So they're very keen to come here. They come here and they never want to go home. We run arts and crafts workshops for the young people. The idea being that they move into looking at things that they want to do in terms of the creative industries, because that's really what we're about. The ones that pass the age of wanting to come in for after school come into taking part in Carnival. Well, let me start from the beginning. 2 years to 86 is our age range in the Carnival band. Okay, so we're not a youth group, we're a community group. When people get so they don't want to go out on the road on Carnival and wear a costume, they help with cooking, they help with all the logistics of getting a truck and everything else on the road. So they're all part of this huge family, and everybody's got a different talent that they put back in. And a lot of our young people have come through the Carnival band with all the various activities. They've gone away, they've working, done a career, come back and do a bit of volunteering, and still come back and take part in Carnival again, or they might then find themselves having a responsible job within the Carnival band because they've come through and they've shown particular talent. And that's the one thing that we're looking for. You always find a talent within somebody's personality. We look at what they're good at and we encourage it, we try and bring it out in them. If they have a particular thing they're interested in doing, Berkeley's the expert with employment and pushing young people in the right directions for their careers. I just make costumes. Okay. Berkeley says very little about himself, but Berkeley spent 30 years working as a senior youth worker for the borough. That's the youth service in the borough, which is the statutory provision. This is the voluntary provision. And in that time, there's not anybody in Tottenham, I don't think, who doesn't know Berkeley. Yeah? Because we worked out, when Berkeley left the youth service, we worked out that there were at least 10,000 young people that had been in contact with Berkeley over the years and has had some involvement with Berkeley helping them along the way to do some particular task. The youth service, which is number 10 Bruce Road, where we used to live there, that was our base. And so we've kind of grown through there. As we're voluntary, we never have any money, so we put up in wherever anybody will give us a space, and we use recycled materials to make our costumes and all that sort of thing. So we were very lucky that we spent 15 years in the building at number 10 Bruce Road for free. And during that time, the young people that went to the youth club also filtered through to the Carnival band. Berkeley identified young people that he thought would benefit from the creative activities that we do, and give them some sort of focus, because they're not. Some of them are not the easiest young people to get motivated. But we have found that most of the young people that come through to us have gone on to bigger and better things as a result of a good guidance, if that's the right word. Yeah. So, okay, yes, that's me.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Elsa. When our students do work on the group here, and they will ask them to just do testimony some of the stuff that they do. Then they will show the
Well, as you can see, I'm not a young lady. But I've been very active, as Sally and Berkeley both said. I'm a counsellor in the London Borough of Carnival. I've been a counsellor now, I'm in my 21st year as a counsellor, but I came to it as an older person because first and foremost I had a family of 5 children, and then when my children got old enough to go to school, I then went to study and I qualified as a teacher, and then eventually I became a head teacher up until the time I retired. And I retired in 1993. And they said, well, what are you going to do now? You can't sit down and do nothing. So I said, well, from my interest in working with the community after school, I'd like to continue with that. And so I put myself up to stand for council. And I was very fortunate I was elected. And I've been elected 5 times since then. So that's why I'm in my 21st year. I work extremely hard, as Edmund said, promoting for the youth in the borough. I'm a governor of a school. I don't know if you know what governors are. Governors help to run schools. So I'm a governor of a nursery school and also of a primary school, which is for children up to the age of 10. And then as an older person, I also, as I said, I'm chair of a pensioners group. And I run the largest pensioners group in the whole of London. When I first started, we only had 50 members. We've now got 350 members. And well over 100 attend my meetings regularly, and I have a big meeting tomorrow. And to start the new year, I'm starting off in a good way, so I'm putting on a concert for these older people. And then on Saturday we're going to the pantomime, and I do lots of things so that people are not isolated in their homes, that they come out and join in. When we used to run the carnival, we had divided the carnival, the festival park in the park, into 5 areas. One was for the youth. One was for the young children. One was for older people, not elderly, please. Because I am not elderly. I'm old, I'm not elderly. And so we divided up the sections, and it worked very, very well. And we continued that for 14 years up until the Tottenham riots, which I'm sure you've heard about. And then when they applied to run the carnival again in 2012, because of the riots, the council wanted so much restrictions on us that we found we could not do it anymore. But for the winter carnival parade, we still do. And I managed through my various sources to get funding.
The cup. Is that Julia's in the...
No.
Yeah.
I get funding, which I give to Sally and Berkeley, and they hire a truck. So I don't know if it's on your thing.
Yeah, you'll see it. Yeah.
So that part of it still continues. And we're hoping that eventually that we will be able to restore what we used to do before. Maybe not in the same place, but we used to have 60,000 people coming, didn't we, through the day. And everybody knew about the Tottenham Carnival, the Tottenham Festival. She did the Carnival Parade, ended up in Bruce Castle Park, where we had a huge festival with over 100 stalls, 5 stages, 5 areas. Brilliant. But anyway.
Councillor, do you also want to say something about who that person is up there?
Bernie Grant. I joined Bernie Grant to the Labour Party in 1972. When I first met him, he worked for British Telecom as a telephonist. And I introduced him to the policies of the Labour Party, and they got him involved. Then I promoted him to become stand for council, and then eventually he became the leader of the council. and then he became the MP from this borough. And he was a very, very good MP, very forthright, but unfortunately he suffered from a hereditary illness, and which he died only aged 54. Wow. Very, very young. And so now we've got another MP, a black MP, David Lammy. But I was his election agent, so I organised all his campaigns, I organised the material, and I was still head teacher at the time. I organised everything for him, and then I did the same for David Lammy.
The significance of that as well is that we only really have 3 black MPs in the country. And Bernie was the first. There's only one lady, and we also have David Lammy, who replaced Bernie Grant. So, I mean, City Parliament, there are 2 black MPs.
Over 600.
Yes. So to only have 3 tells you quite a lot, really.
Well, there's all different shapes. There's some people with mixed race, so there's more than 3. And there are Asians there as well, all sorts there as well. So it's not just white middle class people.
Yeah. But I suppose what I was trying to say is, at that particular point in time,
At that time, that was more than 20 years ago. Because David Lammy's been an MP now for 14 years. Because Bernie Grant died in 2000.
Mark and Tina.
There was just something else I wanted to say. Sorry, I completely forgot, which is quite an important part of what we do. Since before the riots, we've been very highly involved in working with communities against guns and knives. We have a gang problem in that area. And what we have been doing for the last, we worked with some of the beginning of the Not Another Drop campaign. Berkeley and I were on the original group that was based with the Peace Alliance in Harringay. And so what we've done as our bit, if you like, towards the cause, because it's limited what we can do towards the cause, we work with young people in a positive way. And so what we do, we have organised for the last 5 years an annual peace ride, and we go around the borough to all the hotspots where we know that there's been dangerous or fatal incidents. So we take a group of young people, we ride around the borough, we stop at the hotspots, we socialise, we have little flags and people ask us what we're doing and we say we're peace riders. And some of this, the last 2 years we've had 7 and 8-year-olds go on the bike ride with us, which is really great. And they're so proud to be called peace riders. You know, it's 9-10 miles around the borough. So, but they still, you know, because they want to be peace riders, they're just doing. So that's the kind of something that's like very particularly ours, because it was our way of doing something in our community. Yeah. So sorry, I just wanted to say it. I can't remember it.